Hello everyone, my name is Sultan. I'm a first year student and my student ID is F1021251072. In this video, we'll be reviewing a magazine from the internet written by Julia Moskin titled Pumpkin Mini Muffins. Did you know that in an article, magazine, or newspaper, there are several text patterns that are blended together? Well, this technique of writing is called text blending. Obvious, right? It's in the name. Now, me and my friends will break it down into its own individual patterns and we'll find out the characteristics of each text. Without further ado, let's break it down.
Hello, I'm Zeno. I will start this presentation by showing parts that indicate narrative storytelling with personal anecdote. As we learned before, narrative is similar to story that show the event in a structured way. So let's focus on the first sentence. When I was 7, the coolest people I knew or could imagine were the assistant teachers in my second grade classroom. This sentence indicates the personal memory, especially when the writer say, when I was 7. Let's move on to the next question, to the next sentence, In 2012, having returned to the neighborhood with a preschooler, I was set on enrolling her at Bank Street School for Children. This sentence specifically talks about writer's personal life update in 2012. Besides those two sentences, we also found several other sentences that indicate narrative storytelling aspect. Those are, getting used to motherhood had taken me a long time every step seemed to her. It indicates personal emotional experience. Next, I toughened up eventually but never enough to manage school mornings gracefully. It indicates personal reflection on daily struggles. The last one is, I was always on edge, exhaling only when we arrived at the school. Maybe that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Revalina and Putri. Let's get into it. So for the descriptive language, the first one is, this was the Upper West Side of Manhattan in the 1970s, and there were graduate students at the nearby Bank Street School of Education. And sentence number 2 is, getting used to motherhood had taken me a long time every step it seems hurt. And for sentence number 3 is, there were always the 3 kinds of child-side muffins in flavors like blueberry and banana. They are categorized as descriptive sentence because their function is to illustrate, provide a detailed description of people, place, atmosphere, or subject, allowing the reader to visual or feel the described subject. And for the first sentence, it describes the place and time, like the 1970. And for the second sentence, it describes feeling and experience by sentence seems heard. And the third sentence describes an object and the specific characteristics or size of the object. So that's all.
Hello everyone, my name is Azumi Putri and I will continue presenting. So, this magazine also have reflective and nostalgic tone sentence. The sentence is, I am still haunted by his pumpkin muffins, which had a tender, springy crumb and reminded me of the flower child baked goods of my youth. Made with ingredients that I loved at the time, like applesauce, yogurt, and wheat germs. The reason why this text counts as a reflective and nostalgic sentence is because, first, it looks back on a past experience. The author recalls the flower child baked goods of my youth, which clearly refers to a time long ago. The praise of my youth signals a memory, and the tone suggests a sentimental or emotional connection to that earlier period. Second, it expresses emotions about the past. Words like haunted and the sensory details of tender, springy crumb evokes feelings tied to memory. The author isn't just stating facts, they're reliving a sensory and emotional impression from my childhood. Third, it includes personal perspective. The sentence reflects on how the author's feelings have changed over time. Ingredients that I loved at the time, they show the author thinking about how their past self felt versus how they feel now.
My name is Aldy and my name is F10212510 and 57. Today I'm gonna continue the presentation of my friend. I get the part of informal conversational style with a touch of humor. The passage used an informal conversational style with touch of humor in several places, creating the feeling that the narrator is talking casually to a friend. This shows up in a playful exaggeration by calling the assistant teachers exercise creatures who touch down in the classroom as if they were a magical being, and in candid confession such as motherhood, making every step feel painful. The humor is gentle and often self-deprecating, especially when the narrator jokes about not feeling a bad mother for letting muffins count as a meal, or when she assures her daughter about the hoedown and that had a scary son. Even small details like delay muffins being tiny disguised cupcake, or the strange spelling of Gungerjir at a light, amused tone. The repeated rhetorical questions, did I worry? I did not, sounds like a storyteller giving a wink to a reader. Overall, the informal tone comes from the honest admission, casual praising, and witty observations, while the humors help make the narrative warm, relatable, and distinctly personal. And I'm gonna show you guys one of the example or the specific part of passage that show informal conversational style with a touch of humor. The line is, the coolest people I knew or could imagine were the assistant teacher. This passage contains that the dash interruption make it sound like spoken storytelling. The exaggeration adds a playful tone. That's all from me. Yeah.
For the last text pattern is the use of sensory details in this magazine. Now, for the first and second sentence that I samples are the sensory details of sight. The sentence in lettered wrap skirts, tie-dye, and popsicle sticks. And the second sentence are 8th grade art of a watercolor gungle gym. These sentences portray a sight, what the writer saw. Now, for the third and fourth sentence is the sensory details of touch or texture. When we arrived at the cozy basement cafeteria, and the fourth sentence is texture of his muffins are tender and of a springy crumb. These are the textures that the writers felt when she touched. Now, for the last sentence that I sample are the sensory details of taste. The sentence, they were lightly sweetened. This explains what the writers taste when she ate those muffins. That is all for the text patterns in these magazines. Thank you.
Well, how was the video? The explanation was easy, right? Obviously. We present it in a digestible way and you consume it easily. Before ending the video, I want to end it with a poem. So, roses are red, violets are blue. We understand the fundamentals and so should you. See you in the next video.